Hi, I'm Shane. This is Final Girl Reviews, and today I'm covering Barbarian. 2022 film written and directed by Zach Cregger follows Tess Marshall, played by Georgina Campbell, as she finds herself in the middle of an Airbnb mix-up in a rundown part of town. She decides to stay and trust her new roommate Keith, played by Bill Skarsgård, so she can make an important job interview. Just as she begins to let her guard down, she realizes something terrifying is happening in this house, and her fight to escape is truly wild. Even if I had done some reading or watched some reviews, I still don't think I would have been truly prepared for what I was about to watch. Some of it is truly revolting and shocking. I'm a really avid horror watcher. I've been watching since I was probably too young. It's really hard to shock me. I have a strong stomach. But let me tell you, I was not prepared for what I was about to watch. Firstly, I wanted to discuss the performances of the actors. Georgina was brilliant as Tess. I was really rooting for her. Bill Skarsgård is one of my favorite actors, and I love seeing him take on new horror roles. Justin Long as AJ was so infuriating. I really loved hating him. Richard Brake as Frank, he is perfect. He's always perfect. Very disturbing. And Matthew Patrick Davis as the mother was incredible. I have a lot of thoughts about this movie, and it's one of those that I really wanted to take my time with before filming a review. The nature of the scenes it's so shocking and revolting sometimes that it's really easy to get lost in the horrific nature of it. But I think the themes underlying it are really interesting and thought-provoking. It touches on really intense topics like sexual assault and motherhood and the selflessness that is expected of women in society. I have really mixed feelings about the female-centered rhetoric of this film being written and directed by a man. That doesn't say that it doesn't have an impact and that it's not important storytelling. I have some mixed feelings about it, especially considering the lack of inclusion of women in the industry a lot of the time. So no hate to Zach Cregger. It's just a conversation that I keep having that I really think is important to talk about. I think Zach Cregger did a really great job of talking about this subject. You don't actually see any hardcore violence inflicted on the women of this film. I think that was a really smart choice. You don't have to see it to believe it, and that's true in a movie and in real life. I found myself really frustrated with Tess sometimes. I think, at the beginning when she decides to initially trust Keith, she does do things to protect herself by taking a picture of his ID and locking the bedroom door and just generally being aware. And even when she goes down into the basement to try to help him, I felt like that was a really understandable choice. Even though I know other people were kind of frustrated about that, I understood it. There's no reason for her to believe that he was, trying to lie to her, even though it was kind of set up at the very beginning of the movie that he might be somebody to watch for. I think the biggest part that frustrated me was when she actually went back to help AJ. And us as the viewer, we know that he has a sordid past, that he's not somebody that you can trust, but Tess doesn't know that. And when he eventually betrays her, you can't really fault her for that. It's not her fault that she was trying to do the right thing and make the right choices, and he ends up stabbing her in the back. It's not her fault, and I feel frustrated at myself for being frustrated with her for trying to do the right thing. I found myself feeling very sorry for the mother. The generations of violence before her turned her into a monster. The only seemingly soft thing in her life was the breastfeeding video on repeat. And even though that was disturbing to us, it must have been some kind of comfort to her, and she wanted to feed babies and do what she had learned. It is disgusting, yes. Horrific to imagine being the mother's baby, also yes. But genuinely, her story is very sad. To sum it up, Barbarian was horrific, scary, revolting, disgusting, triggering, frustrating. But I loved every second of it. I was thoroughly entertained. I think Zach Crager and the whole crew did a really great job putting this movie together, and I really look forward to what he does next. Also, poor Keith. Justice for Keith. So if you like what I do here at Final Girl Reviews, please don't hesitate to like, subscribe, leave me a comment about what you think I should cover next, and thank you for watching.